In 2019, I published a long video review of a short game, that game being LAMA, a 2 to 6 player game by Reiner Knizia that was released by German publisher Amigo and was nominated for 2019's Spiel des Jahres, Germany's Game of the Year award. And I did a long review of LAMA because I heard lots of people saying there's not much to this game. It's not very interesting, there's nothing there, it's barely a game, all the usual derogatory things that people on Board Game Geek say when a game is very simple and they find it not of interest. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game, it's just not for them. I have highly enjoyed playing LAMA. It plays very differently with 2 players or 3 players compared to 5 or 6, so it gives you a very different experience without changing any of the rules. It's kind of magic how that works, and more than that, Knizia's designs are usually pretty open, streamlined, simple. There's not much there that's imposed upon you, so you get to experience the personality of the players while they're playing. If they want to be risky, thoughtful, they want to hang back, they want to watch what everyone else is doing, they just do their own thing, they're planning ahead, they're not. It's open to that type of playing experience from different people, so it gives you a different feel every time you have a different group of people at the table. And that's something I really enjoy, in that it's really open to the player experience. So, I have great love for LAMA, and funnily enough, Amigo has a new Knizia game coming out in 2025 that is not called Duck Mouse. This is a prototype box that I got from Amigo. I got to play Duck Mouse, which is now going to be published as Meister Makatsu. It's a 2 to 6 player game that is being released in June 2025 at Amigo Frienda stores. That is stores, retail outlets that have a close relationship with Amigo. They will get an exclusive right to sell the game for 3 months, and then it will be released in general retail outlets later in 2025. But since the game is available now and I got to play it, I thought it'd be good to talk about it. Please keep in mind throughout this demonstration that this is a prototype, a mock-up version of the actual game. You are not going to have tokens with handwritten numbers on them. You will have nice decks of cards instead of the mock-ups here. Now, how we play is each player gets a deck of 24 cards, and I've shuffled all these ahead of time, and we'll put out 5 decks for a mock 5-player game. And all of the decks are the same. They have 24 cards. Cards come in 3 colors, yellow, blue, and purple, with numbers 1 to 8 in each of those colors. And how you play, well, you're trying to get the fewest points, like LAMA. And each player gets a hand of 4 cards. And we'll say I'm the lead player. I'm going to play one of the cards onto the table. Each other player is going to play a card. I will then play a second card, as will each other player, and then we'll resolve them. And you don't have to follow suit, it's not a trick-taking game, anything like that, but you are trying to avoid points. And how you are going to get points is be the person who plays the highest number in a color in a round. So let's say I played the blue 1. Look at what this person has. They see this, maybe they say, okay, I'll play the 3. Okay. And here, well, I have to get rid of most of my cards anyway. I'll go ahead and play a 6. Here, we'll just look on what's the table, we'll say a 3. And this player can play a 1. Okay, it comes back to me, I have to play again. So whatever I play, I'm going to be the highest number out there. 8 high, 7 high, 6 high. Gotta do something. I'll play the 7. Maybe this person, if they play the 3 and tie, they will actually be considered high because they came later. So let's say we go ahead and get rid of that. Rather than win both the yellow and the purple, this player can play this and still be under my 7. They can't play the yellow 5 because they would break the tie there. This player is already winning purple. Heck, let's just win purple more. This person now can ditch this and be under that. 6. Okay. We've each played 2 cards. You take the other 2 cards in your hand and put them aside. So they will become a deck in round 2. And we resolve these tokens. Whoever has the highest yellow is going to get 2 1 tokens because we're in the first round. They have just earned 2 points. And remember, points are bad. I have the highest blue, I get 1. This person has the highest purple, they get 1, and they become the leader for the next round. That is the power of purple. Yellow, the power is you score twice. Blue has the power of not being purple or yellow. So all these cards go away. You draw 4 new cards and do it again. And so looking at your hand, you're trying not to score. What are you going to play that's not going to score, right? So maybe you play the 5 and then you play the 6 later. You can just play the 1 and try to dodge everything. And we're going to continue. And I'll just play randomly off the top for the next hands here. Oh, they're still winning yellow. Go ahead and play the 6. Just to show you how things work. And again, whatever cards are left over from your hand go into a second deck. Resolve all these. Gets 2 points, get 1 point. I get 1 point to become the start player for the next round. You keep doing this 6 times, right? You have a hand of 4 cards in a 24 card deck. At the end of the time, after you have played enough rounds, you will have 12 cards that you have set aside. You've played 2 cards each time, 12 cards set aside. These 12 cards are now your deck in round 2. So you shuffle these up, draw 4 cards, do it again, all right? You're going to lead with whoever was the winner, the last winner of purple. If someone doesn't win purple in a round, they continue to lead in the next round. You go again. But now, if I win, let's say I end up playing these 2 with 6 being the high yellow, now I get 2 2-point tokens because we're in the second round. Take these cards, put them aside. And again, we're going to do this 3 times, so I'll end up putting 6 cards aside. That's my deck in round 3. I think you can guess where this is going. I'm going to draw 4 cards, play 2 of them. All right, maybe I get a dodge by playing under people both times. Other people who don't dodge get a 3-point token or 2 3-point tokens if they win yellow. I draw my final 2 cards. I will play 2 of these, and then I discard the final 2 without playing them. And then you add up your points, see who has the fewest points, and wins. There's an overview of Meister Makatsu, which I played 5 times on a mock-up from Amigo with 2, 3, 5, and 6 players. And once again, the game will not look like this. It will instead look like this. And the setting of the game, at least as far as I can tell, is that you are running a martial arts school, training different students, and trying to impress Meister Makatsu with the students in your school by being as invisible as possible. You want to be quiet and unseen because that's what you want to do. Maybe, I guess, you're training to be ninjas along the way. And the artwork by Sonia Müller gives this impression as well when you look at the cards. Here are all the purple cards in each deck, and if you look at them, the number 8 is just a total goofball, caught up in their own tongue, and then 7's a little bit better, and 6 is better, and so on down to 2 and 1, which are awesome students, which mirrors the belt structure in karate, at least from my experience, where you start at the worst level, the white belt, and then you slowly get better over time. You get up to like level 3, and maybe it's blue or green, depends on what school you go to, red, you get up to brown, and then once you get to 1 brown, you're going to go to a first level black belt, and so on. So you're increasing your skill as you go on, and will be more invisible. So the 8 will be seen and punished more than the 7. And if I have an 8 and someone else comes out with an 8, well, they draw all the attention to themselves. So the person who plays the highest number last, they're the ones who get penalized. With both of these games coming from Reiner Knizia and Amigo with player count of 2 to 6, playing time of 20 minutes, it's natural to draw comparisons between the two. And they don't play alike in any way. The rules are not similar at all, but the feel of the games is very similar. They both have incredibly simple rules that you will understand immediately. You know what you're trying to do, ditch all of your cards, not have the high cards in a round. That's it. That's all you're trying to do. But how do you do that well? And you will discover that only by playing, and playing multiple times with different people, because the experience differs depending upon who's at the table and how many people you have. Like LAMA, Meister Makatsu plays very differently with 2 players compared with 5 or 6, primarily because more people are playing cards. And the more people playing cards, the more likely it is that you can dodge and not get penalty points, because there are more cards out there. Right? With 2 people, there are only 4 cards total being played. And if I play a yellow, the other player may decide I have 2 non-yellow cards to play. And so let's give Eric those 2 penalty chips for his 1, 2, whatever it is. He thought he was going to dodge, and now he can't dodge. So it's easier to get hit in a game with 2 people or 3 people than it is with 5 or 6. You have an incentive to throw out the high numbers early because you're going to get penalized, but it's better to be penalized with a 1 than it is with a 2 or 3. So you can try to hold on to those cards and then ditch them at the end of the game, because you get to throw 2 cards away unplayed. You can have 2 8s that you never play, but it depends on which cards you're looking at each time. 4 cards, you're playing 2 of them. 2 are going back into the bucket for later. And so it's a little challenge every time you look at the cards. What am I going to do with these? What am I going to do with these? How am I going to dodge things? And now it depends well upon where you are in the playing order. Because in a game with lots of players, you may be like, great, I'm going to play the 8 early, and hopefully someone else will also have an 8 in their hand of the same color and want to get rid of it to get the low penalty. And so I'll play that 8 early and hope everyone else will follow along. But then they don't. Sometimes they'll just play 7s and 6s for that color. So they get to ditch all their high numbers, and you take the fall and get the penalty. So it kind of didn't help you in that you helped them dodge with high numbers that they otherwise would have had to play later. So sometimes you want to go low. But of course, if you have only 1 low card and lots of high cards, you're going to have to play one of the high cards. What are you going to do? So it's super simple. And yet I find it highly engaging just because it's fun to play, and you have that little puzzle each time you pick up a hand and each time you resolve a round, and then you see what happens. And then some people start to pile up points and others don't, and you're trying to hit certain people and play against them. Sometimes it feels good to be first, and sometimes you don't want to be first. And I haven't got a real sense yet, even after 5 games, of when's the right time to lead. I don't know yet. And of course, you don't have full control over that because it depends upon which cards you pick up and then which cards you play. So the game is super simple, and I find it similarly engaging like LAMA in that nature of just like you get into it right away and then you see how things go. And it feels like everything should be very obvious. Ditch the high cards or just play under whatever anyone else has, so you take nothing. But then you're often, pushing those higher cards into the second round, and then you're trying to do it again, and then you're trying to do it again. You can track played cards to some degree, depending upon how good you are at counting who's played what. Sometimes you'll be pushing low yellow cards into the future just because you're getting rid of the high ones now. You want to get those penalties out of the way, or you had an opportunity to play a 7 under an 8 and get rid of that. So you keep pushing low yellow cards into the future, and then you find in the final round, where there's only two groups of cards played in the third round. Not sure of the terminology yet in this. And then you'll play a yellow 2, and you'll still get hit because everyone else has played all their yellow already, and you hadn't tracked that. You hadn't kept track of that, and now there you go, you got 6 points, and you're not winning at that point probably. So it's all these little things that come together through the collective gameplay, right? Like all these Knizia games that come out. He's so good at just doing these simple designs that really speak to me in terms of what I want from a game experience, where I don't have to remember the rules at all. You just play, and you're looking at other people, and you're seeing what they're playing, and you're trying to track a little bit and what they're trying to do. You get good moments where, yeah, someone takes it from you and you're like, yes, thank you for doing that. That's awesome. So it's like little wins and little losses, and you see the chips pile up over time as you work your way towards the end. So feels really good overall. The only problem we've had with the game, and this has happened a few times, is that you have to be very clear about what you're doing with your cards. I play one, I play another one. These I need to immediately take and put somewhere, right? They recommend turning them 90 degrees, putting them next to the remaining cards in your deck, but you also have all the cards in the center. Sometimes you'll just hold this, and I've seen people just immediately draw 2 more cards, and you have to watch that when you're teaching the game to begin with. Make sure you play your second card, and you immediately put the other ones down in the secondary deck. However you want to take care of that, keep an eye on that. Someone will probably mess that up the first time you play. So you got to watch out for that, but otherwise, it's pretty smooth sailing. And you're just getting into the game experience and flowing along with it. So there you go. Meister Makatsu, not this. Pretend you didn't see that, like a ninja sneaking away.